Hi guys, I'm Chizari from Sevenskyconsulting. About 3 months has passed since OpenAI released the first version of O1, O1 Preview, an enhanced version of ChatGPT-O1 with deep thinking and reasoning ability. And very recently, they finally released the full version of O1 alongside O1 Pro and O1 Mini. Now, in this video, we are going to test it out from basic questions down to its limits, compare it to other frontier models, and see if it's really worth the $200 monthly fee OpenAI is charging for their Pro plan. Test number 1, O1 versus O1 Pro on basic tasks. So let's start off by setting the model on O1 Pro mode and a simple question. For example, who is Malcolm X? The reason I'm testing this is that the common problem O1 preview users complained about was its thinking time even on basic tasks like this one. It was to the point that it had become an inside joke in the community on social media. And as you can see, it's really taking the model quite some time to respond. Oh, by the way, there's a new details button here that allows you to track the model's thinking process as it's thinking, but we'll get to that later on more complex questions. Now, the thing is that OpenAI devs explained in the demo video that the O1 model can detect the complexity of your problem, and therefore the thinking time for simple tasks has been reduced. And here we are. Let's check out the details again. No details, it's just thinking. It took the model 1 minute and 20 seconds, like 18 seconds, 80 seconds for the model to respond. And that's a lot. That's a lot. Uh, but why did it take so long for the model to respond? The reason lies here in the selection, in the model selection box. And as mentioned here, O1 Pro mode is best at reasoning. And whatever you ask it, it's gonna think a lot about it. It's gonna think deeply about the question, and that's why it took so long for it to respond. So let's ask the same question from O1, and we're gonna refresh the page so there's no caching. And who is Malcolm X? Yeah. It took a second for O1 model to respond. And the point that I'm trying to prove here is that the O1 Pro mode is only suitable for complex tasks. For example, uh, math problems, physics problems, coding, and stuff like that. Stuff that requires reasoning and deep and advanced thinking uh, to resolve. And it's not suitable for everyday use. For everyday use, you can use O1, O4, 4.0, or even O1 Mini, but O1 Pro is not recommended. Test number 2, O1 versus other frontier models at coding. In this section, we're going to compare O1 versus the other top two frontier models at reasoning and advanced thinking, Claude 3.5 Sonnet and Gemini 2.0 Flash, which by the time of this video, it's still in its experimental stage, but it's fine. First off, we're going to find some expert coding questions on edabbit.com. We're gonna set the language to Python, difficulty to expert, and also logic expert to filter out the logical ones. And we'll use a random question, legal backlog. Looks good. What I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna copy this whole thing to ChatGPT, and let's see how it does. While it's thinking, let's use SourceGraph's CodyChat to test out Claude 3.5 Sonnet and Gemini 2.0 Flash. So I'm just gonna paste it here too. Claude had an answer in 2 to 3 seconds. Let's see if it's a valid one. edabbit.com also provides unit tests, so damn. Claude 3.5 reached an answer within 2 to 3 seconds and passed all the tests. What about Gemini 2.0 Flash? Let's ask it. Okay, it also reached an answer within seconds, in like 1, 2, 3 seconds. And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna test the code provided by Gemini. Okay, it failed due to okay, it failed some of the tests. Let's see how O1 did in the test. It provided detailed solution to how it reached the answer. It took 17 seconds for the model to respond, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy this code here and paste it to the unit tests. Yeah, it also passed the test. So what happened here was that Claude 3.5 Sonnet reached an answer within 2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds, and passed all the tests. Gemini 2.0 Flash also reached an answer within 2 to 3 seconds, but couldn't pass all the tests. ChatGPT-O1 reached an answer within 17 seconds, and also passed the test. So I guess it's between Claude 3.5 Sonnet and ChatGPT-O1. So what we're gonna do to settle out the score is that we're gonna do another challenge here. Again, we'll set this on Python, on expert, tags, logic. Yes. Let's go with another one, like for example, shortest path. What could this be? Again, we'll copy this whole thing to ChatGPT. But we're also gonna copy this whole thing to Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Let's see how it does. It took 4 seconds, I think, to reach an answer. How's ChatGPT doing here? 15 seconds for ChatGPT. Yeah, step-by-step guide. Code implementation Python. Okay, code is ready. We're gonna copy this and see if it works. Yeah, it passed all the tests. The code that was given to us in, I guess, 15 seconds. What was it? Yep. Let's see how Claude did on this test. Claude also passed the test. So I guess they're both good for coding tasks, but as you just witnessed here, it took GPT 15 seconds for the last one, and I think 17 seconds for the first one. Meanwhile, it took like 7 seconds overall for the two questions we asked Claude. So Claude is much faster than GPT-O1. I guess that settles the score here. Let's go for the next section. Test number 3. O1 Pro versus the impossible. As for our third test, we are gonna ask O1 Pro to solve an unsolved math question to push the model to its limits and see how far it would go for an answer, its thinking process, and refusal and rejection ability. In this case, we have an unsolved math problem called Yang-Mills existence and mass gap. This problem comes from theoretical physics and involved quantum field theory. It seeks to prove the existence of a theory that accurately describes fundamental forces and predicts a property called the mass gap. I'm going to pass this whole text to O1 Pro. The problem is to prove that the Yang-Mills equations have solutions that exhibit a mass gap, meaning particles described by the theory have a positive mass. So let's see if O1 Pro has an answer for us. And also check out the thinking process tracker here, grasping Yang-Mills theory, pondering the problem. Okay, meanwhile, it might take minutes for O1 Pro. Meanwhile, let's use Claude 3.5 Sonnet to see how Claude would react. Claude reaches an answer normally within less than 5 seconds. Yeah, it kind of refused to answer this because it says that it's unsolvable and stuff. Uh, let's see how ChatGPT-O1 Pro does. Okay, we finally have a result. It took almost 1.5 minutes. Short answer, proving the existence of a positive mass gap in 3 plus 1-dimensional non-abelian Yang-Mills theory is still an open problem in mathematical physics. It's so deep that and consequential that the clay mathematics, it kind of didn't have an answer for us. So we're gonna ask GPT-O1 Pro to tackle the problem however it can, take an approach. So I need you to take your shot at solving this. I know this problem is unsolved. Okay, it's approaching to solve Yang-Mills mass gap, formulating the approach, tackling the enigma, formulating. Okay, this is a good sign. Okay, it's over. Let's see how long it took. It took 1 minute and 20 seconds. Okay, that's good. So I guess it didn't actually solve the question. It just took some different approaches and it actually tried to prove it here, but I guess it wasn't successful. In this video, we wanted to see for ourselves what the new O1 and O1 Pro models are capable of, and if they are worth the $200 monthly fee. And in one word, the models alone are not worth the fee if you're not a scientist, since the only thing that makes O1 superior than the other frontier models is its reasoning ability, which comes handy for deep logical questions, for example in math, chemistry, physics, and others. And even in expert coding, we saw that Claude 3.5 Sonnet is at least 5 to 6 times faster than with the same results. So if you're not a scientist or a philosopher, save your $200 and use Claude or Gemini or even ChatGPT 4o for your everyday use. However, we have 11 more days left of the 12 days with OpenAI, and they will definitely release new features you can use with the same Pro account. And in this video, we tested out everything the OpenAI team claimed about O1, and the model lived up to all of them except the part Sam Altman himself stated that O1 is the best model in the world right now. And to be honest, this one did not sit right with me because it's very vague, like best at what? It would have been more than okay if you said it's best at reasoning, since they are setting foot in the direction of achieving AGI, but as we saw in this very video in 2 different examples, Claude 3.5 Sonnet beat O1 at coding. And that was just 2 examples. But I do have to admit, it actually might be the best model we have at deep thinking at the time. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for our next review and don't forget to like and subscribe.